Howdy everybody, I hope y'all are enjoying your day. Today's video is going to be on a 2004 Ford F-350 6.0 Powerstroke turbo diesel. As you know, these 6.0s can have problems. But my problem that I had was the truck. I could be driving down the road and then all of a sudden it's like it just starts to lose power. And then if I kept pushing it, it would literally get to the point where it would just stall out and die. And then I'd have to wait a little bit of time on the side of the road with the truck off, and then I could start it back up again and it would run fine for a couple more minutes, and then the same issue would occur where it'd lose power. Then it would stall out and die. The thing about this is it's kind of hard to trace down what the problem is, because you get all kinds of different codes that it'll throw, and you can clear the codes. It won't fix anything. It won't allow the truck to start back up and run when this problem's occurring, even if you clear the codes. And then the codes will change too. So it's not consistent. The codes that it throws are not consistent, or it'll have a whole menagerie of codes, like 15 different codes that it's throwing, and it really, you know, you'd be changing every sensor in the truck if you went according to what the codes were saying, or changing some high dollar items like maybe the high pressure oil pump, or the fuel injection control module, or your injectors, or whatever it might be, to try and get down to the bottom of it because of what your codes are saying. Well, in this case, this issue, and I've had this happen in more than one of these trucks, it was the body harness, so the wiring harness that goes above the turbo underneath the little black casing. That wire harness, it started to melt and fuse together, and I'm assuming it happened over the years. The truck didn't really show signs of overheating at all, just with it being subjected to those kind of temperatures, being above the turbo on the engine compartment like it was. It just slowly broke down over time, and then that ended up causing all kinds of problems with the communication, with the computer, and all kinds of stuff, causing faults and whatnot. So what we did is we actually found a new body harness off of another truck, because they don't make this body harness anymore. You can't order it in. You have to either do a pull off, or, which is what we did, and cut the wire harness back past the part that's bad and rewire it in there, and unclip and reclip in all the connectors. Or you can just cut out that section of wire that's bad, one wire at a time, and cut and splice it in. That way you can bypass that section of wire that's bad. So again, we just replaced the harness that we found from another vehicle, and we inspected it, had it inspected well to make sure that it didn't have problems too, because that's the last thing you would want. But if you're having those kind of issues, that could be what it is, especially if the codes don't make sense, and it can throw a code one day or at one time and throw a completely different code another time, and you can't figure it out and get down to the bottom of it. You might think it's a computer. I knew mine wasn't a computer issue because someone stole a computer out of my truck, and I had to get order in a brand new one. So the computer in my truck was brand new. Now, after we fixed this problem with the wiring harness, we had another problem. I had a fuel contamination issue, and I ended up having to completely redo the whole fuel system, the injectors, the strainer in the tank, the module below the driver's side door, where the blue spring kit and stuff goes. I had to change out all that stuff, all the O-rings, the gaskets. We had to flush the whole system before we put new stuff in. And so that's what we did. But this video that you're going to see right here in just a second is of a fuel contamination, and the truck's running really crappy. has a hard start, a lack of power, and that's because there's something that was basically preventing the fuel system from operating correctly. This same type of condition is kind of like what you would see with the other problem on the wire harness, where you'll stall out and die and you try to restart the truck. Sometimes when you try to restart the truck during those conditions, it sounds just like what it will in this shot, even though this was fuel contamination. It's a similar sign for a bad wiring harness, the body harness. So, alright, well, I hope you guys all enjoy this video and that you find it informative. Hopefully, if you guys have a similar problem, it will help direct you to the right place to look. Inspect your wire harness, make sure it's good, make sure it doesn't have frayed ends, or like in my case, make sure it's not all melted and fused together. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe, or do whatever you feel like you need to share this video or whatever. But I hope everyone's having a great day and enjoy the video. Alright, I'm gonna start it. It's running like crap. Won't really start. So I'll try that again. And if I drive it for a little bit, it'll be even worse. I'll pull off and sometimes it doesn't barely even start. It takes me a while for it to crank. So here's a video of the truck running. It's running really crappy, really rough, and it has no power. You can hear it. Hear that too? It almost dies when it goes back down. And it's floored. This is how long it takes for it to go up. That's literally with it floored.